For the past 5 years, I have pretty much exclusively been thrifting when it comes to my wardrobe, and I think that that has had a huge impact on my personal style. I feel like I am more experimental and creative with my wardrobe than I was previously, and I get such a kick out of finding that perfect item in a thrift store. Now, it has been a conscious choice for me to think secondhand first. When I was in my teens and my early 20s, I did consume fast fashion, and I did that at quite a rate. I am not proud of it, but it is what I did. And even when I did that, I wasn't necessarily going for the same thing that everyone else was going for necessarily. It wasn't conscious that I wanted to wear what everyone else wore. I've never truly really cared about fitting in that way, or at least not fitting in with what I was wearing. That hasn't been important to me. But I did still go to those quote-unquote normal stores like H&M, for example, and peruse there, and that is such a contrast to where I'm at today, where even walking into such a normal store just throws me off completely. I am not used to seeing like 10, 20 of the same item hanging side by side. I find it so frustrating how much is produced, period, but how much is produced with, polyester, acrylics, those kinds of things. Just knowing how much plastic is hanging in this store that I'm in, figuratively, right now, and just seeing the bulk of the same item, it just really throws me off. I do still go into them occasionally, for example, to buy underwear, because that is something that I buy new, and I would like to look into a more sustainable way of doing that with sustainable brands and stuff. But I do like trying things on when it comes to underwear. Most things I like trying on, but I have certain preferences when it comes to underwear that I really want them to fit a certain way, and so doing that via a sustainable brand that probably doesn't have a physical store near me is difficult. So I do go into normal stores occasionally for example, underwear, and I buy shoes, mostly new. I don't have that many pairs of shoes. I think I have like 7 pairs of shoes or something, and the most recent pair I bought was actually secondhand. But I have certain foot issues that need certain types of shoes, and also shoes are really important for like your body. It's important to have good shoes that fit you and have the arch support and whatever else you might need. But like I said, when I do go into a normal store, it is so weird to me to see the 20 of the same shirts, or like complete outfits put together, or just the amount of the same thing is really strange to me, because I'm used to the thrift stores. I'm used to finding a thing I like and then realizing, oh, it's not in my size, I can't get it, and then moving on from it, which has its downsides, of course. I mean, it would be great if I found the dream piece and I realized it was a size wrong, a size that was too big, too small, and then next to it was the same perfect piece in the correct size. And that would be great when I'm in a thrift store and I find the perfect piece that is just the wrong size. It would be great to find it in a size up or a size down or whatever's necessary. That would be amazing. But that is not what I'm used to anymore. That is not what I prioritize anymore. And I will say that I am privileged in the fact that I have a standard sized body. Not everything in a thrift store will fit me because there are still sizes, but I do still find my size both in normal stores and in thrift stores, and that is a privilege to be able to find things that do fit me in these places. And like I touched on in a recent video, for me when I go thrifting, a lot of it is about the hunt, to see what I will find and not being like, oh, I want exactly this, and if I don't find this, the trip is ruined. I a lot of times walk out with nothing, sometimes I walk out with several things, but I try to go in with an open mind. There can be things on a thrift wish list that I have that I want. I'd like to find a purple linen button down currently, for example. I saw one on Vinted that then sold. I would like to find the perfect white skirt, or I'm on the lookout for a cardigan, or like I can have that sort of idea in my head, be it very broad, like cardigan, or be it more specific, like a tiered white skirt that is not see-through, la 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 la. You know, it can be varying degrees, but I like going in and just being like, what can I find today? Is there anything here that speaks to me? Is there anything I want to add to my wardrobe? I do also think I'm helped by the fact that the people that I follow online, on YouTube, on Instagram, are people who thrift. I don't think I follow anyone, or at least I can't think of anyone I follow, who makes like clothing hauls of new clothes, or these are my newly bought clothes from, not thrift stores. I don't watch that. I am not subjected to that. And of course I get the odd ad or something tossed into my algorithm, but it's not what I'm actively seeking out. And I know that the people that I am watching who have thrifted wardrobes and who do make thrifting content, I know that I will see things in their videos that I can't run out and get, and that is really good. I have definitely been inspired, again, back in the day, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, I'm not quite sure exactly when, but I've definitely seen people making like an H&M haul and been like, ooh, that skirt looks really nice, I want to get that skirt, and then perhaps gotten that skirt. Now it's more a case of, oh, I saw so-and-so thrift a pair of green pants that looked really cool, I think green pants could work in my wardrobe. Or I saw them get a pink hat that might work really well with my style. So I do still get inspired and influenced, but I know that I can't get those exact pieces, and I don't want to get those exact pieces. Of course it happens that I will see something in someone's video and go, wow, I really wish I had that purple button down or those green pants, that would look great in my wardrobe. And then on occasion I will try to find that exact item, or perhaps a dupe of it on Vinted, for example. But it is very rare that I'll set out to get that item or a dupe of that item. It's more so that I get inspired. Now, I don't want to sit here and say that I wouldn't have a personal style or this personal style if I shopped exclusively fast fashion, for example. But I do think that the way I've been shopping for the last number of years has really helped me hone in on what my style is. I very rarely know what is trending, for example. I know what is trending through people like Alexa Sunshine 83 when she makes her summer trends I'm loving or hating type videos. I also see a lot of content by Lottie, especially on my Instagram, talking about like summer trends and the overconsumption and how everything will end up in landfill. And it's really through those videos that I realize, oh, polka dots are trending, for example. Or interestingly enough, this like teal aqua color, which I have a cardigan of right here, I thrifted this and a very similarly colored button down 3-4 weeks ago right now, as of me filming this. Just found them in a thrift store. I like the color, I like the fit, I got them. And then the following week, I believe it was, Lottie put up a video on her Instagram talking about how this was one of the hot colors of the summer, and I was like, oh, I had no idea. Perhaps if I would have gone into normal stores more often, or watched people who make content around, you know, fast fashion type clothes, I would have known that, but I had no idea. Same with this dress. Apparently polka dots are hot for summer. I had no idea. This is a dress that I have been after for years. I think 6 or 7 years. It's an H&M dress originally that I have been after and never found in my size. I've tried some like online thrifting places back in the day, like 5-6 years ago. Didn't find it. Okay, fair enough. And then this popped up on Vinted recently and I was like, oh, that is the dress that I was after. Messaged the seller, got measurements, ended up getting the dress, and then found out again through Lottie that apparently polka dots are hot. And so here I am in polka dots, but not because it's trendy, because I liked the item. And I think it's been really good for me to not be fed what is trending, to not actively seek out to find out what is trending, because it has made me find pieces that I like because I like them. There are certain trends that I will like, polka dots apparently. I'm not a huge polka dot person. This is a dress, again, that I've been looking for a few years. I now have it, I'm very happy with it. But I would have gotten this 2 years ago if I could have, when polka dots weren't trending. Same with this blue, or this teal aqua color. I liked it when I found it. I wasn't on the lookout for it. And so I think, again, not having been fed the trends has made me just find pieces I like and see how I like them with the rest of my wardrobe, on myself, in my own life, and so on, which I think is really beneficial. And also not walking into normal stores and seeing the way the mannequins are dressed, or seeing the posters or the ads on the walls, for example. I will instead go thrifting. I'll find this blue linen shirt. I'll bring it home and go, okay, what else in my wardrobe do I like putting this with? I didn't see it paired with anything on a mannequin. And I'm not saying that that is crazily creative or experimental, but I really enjoy doing that, and I don't get fed an outfit. I just get the sort of pieces, one from here, one from there kind of thing, and build it around my own style, or build my style with what I find myself drawn to. I do also think I've really benefited from the analyzing I've done of my actual wardrobe and what I actually wear. Using Wearing, for example, which is what I've done for over 3 years at this point. I'm not sponsored, but I've been using that app to track my outfits for 3 years. It has also shown me my usage, it's shown me how many button downs I have, how many trousers I have, which of course I could just count in my own wardrobe as well. But having the app to look back on, what was I wearing in December? What did I wear last summer? What do I have a lot of in my wardrobe? That kind of thing has been really helpful. And I have also made a number of videos analyzing my wardrobe with my usage. Why do I like a certain item or outfit that I'm wearing? What do I gravitate towards? I made my Venn diagram videos where I figured out that my style is possibly a Venn diagram consisting of 3 circles and their overlaps. More on that up here. And it's just been really fun to do that kind of thinking, to just look at the data of it all. And I don't know why it makes me so excited to do that. There is something about it that just tickles me in a very fun way, to just look at the data and see the patterns. And I don't mean actual patterns, I mean like correlations. And I could almost do like one of those like murder mystery boards of like putting a bunch of pictures and then red string in between them. That's what it feels like. And just connecting the dots and just branching it out and just like seeing it is so delicious somehow. And yeah, I just really feel like that has also benefited my style. Granted, I do still make a few purchases that don't end up working out. I will try something and realize it doesn't work out. But when I look at my wardrobe, either in an app or in person, there are certain signs, there are certain connections. And I had a comment actually on a previous video that I got the comment last night, I think, or this morning when I'm filming this, who said that they really liked the cohesiveness of the colors in my wardrobe. And I was like, you see cohesion in my colors? Because I can sometimes feel like I just have colors, and I love having colors, but it was nice to see that someone saw a cohesion in it all. And I'm really inspired actually by Lauren from How She Styles. She has her own color swatch, color scheme that she has put together, colors she really likes, and that's the colors that she goes for when she wants new items into her wardrobe. I don't have that in practice. I don't have an actual swatch of these are my colors, but like most people, even though I have a lot of color and I like a lot of different colors, there are still colors that I will not wear. I don't wear salmon or peach, for example. Those are not colors that work for me or with me or on me, and I don't like them on me. And then there are colors that I'm more drawn to. For example, I love a lot of pinks, even though I just said salmon and peach are not for me, but I love a lot of pinks. I love blue. I always feel very good when I wear blue. I have a lot of blue. And so even though I don't have a specified, written down, printed out, drawn up, whatever you want to say, color scheme, there are still colors that I like and don't like. And I just happen to like a lot of colors, and so I have a lot of colors. My style is also ever evolving, which I think is important to mention as well. There have been certain aesthetics throughout the years that have really spoken to me and that I can see myself already having been drawn to and having in my wardrobe, for example. I can, for example, look at cottagecore and be like, yeah, that is an aesthetic that I really enjoy and pieces that I am drawn to, and I already have some things in my wardrobe that are sort of like that, or that give that vibe, at least to me. Grandmacore is another one that I really enjoy, but I do still struggle with actually naming my style. The Venn diagrams, again, I did a good job at that, but for wearing, for example, you get to put 3 style words. The ones I have put are feminine, cute, and playful, and I don't think that that really encapsulates me at all. But playful or colorful I wanted in there, but it's not always that I dress that way, and I think that was also what inspired making the Venn diagram video, of seeing the different overlaps in my style. But I do generally feel like I have a pretty good grasp of what my personal style is. However, it is also ever evolving. My style now I don't think is the same that it was like 4.5 years ago when I started this channel back in January of 2022. I feel like it's different, although it's still me. Like, I just thought of that looking at this outfit. I'm wearing a colorful button down, solid colored, and then I'm wearing this strappy dress on top that has a pattern on it. And back in 2022, I wore this dress a lot that I don't have anymore because it got too small or too short. And I wore solid colored tops a lot under this dress. And that also has the spaghetti straps. And like, there is still me in both of these outfits. I do still expect my style to change a bit over time, but it is fun to see the connection with an outfit from 4.5 years ago and seeing that I still dress similarly, even though the pieces are different and I feel like I've changed a little bit. But I do think it's fun to look back at that and still see that there is some sort of common denominator between these two. Not all my outfits look like either of these. There were outfits I put together 4.5 years ago that I wouldn't wear today, but it's still fun to see that there is me. Somewhere in here, there is me. I do also want to say that I don't feel like I dress in a very out there way, but to some people I do. I like to wear a lot of dresses and skirts, for example, which I'm not going to say is uncommon here where I live in Sweden, but I feel like I do it to a bigger extent, or larger skirts and dresses or something like that, than a lot of people that I meet. And I have had a lot of comments over the years being like, oh, what are you so dressed up for? And I'm like, I'm just wearing a dress. Which is so funny to me because this is just a normal everyday kind of outfit for me. But I do also know that if I walk down the street, I'm not going to meet someone else who dresses the same way. And I'm not saying that my style is wild and crazy. I've been saying it's experimental and creative, yes, but I don't think it's completely very super out there. It's just not quite the same as a lot of the people that I meet. And that makes sense because a lot of the people I meet don't thrift. And if they do thrift, we're not going to find the same thing because there's one of this dress or one of this shirt in the store. There are still certain places that I might feel a little bit out of place, a little bit overdressed, or like people are paying a little bit more attention to my outfit than I would perhaps want them to. Not that I want to hide away and not be perceived, but in a way of like, okay, my outfit is getting a lot of looks right now. That is not what we're here about. That's not the point. And I changed my job back in October, and that was a case of like, okay, I don't want to not dress the way I do, but I am going to be meeting new people. I'm going to be in a new environment from here on out. How is that going to go, kind of thing? But I didn't dull my style. I didn't perhaps go with my brightest orange shirt on the first day, but I do dress true to myself in those environments as well. So all this to say that I love thrifting. If you've been here before, you probably figured out that I love thrifting. I love that I can be creative and experimental and dress in a way that I really enjoy. And again, it comes with the privilege of finding clothes that fit me. That is a huge thing that I want to acknowledge. But I also am so happy that this is what it's come to for me. I've never felt the need to dress like other people in order to fit in, nor have I purposely dressed against how other people are dressing in order to stand out. But I do feel like my style is mine due to what I've curated it into. And I'm not saying that you cannot curate a personal style if you buy fast fashion, for example. You can be super intentional about that. You can get pieces that are really true to you and cohesive or as uncohesive as you want them to be. That can totally be a personal style. But for me, this is what I like and this is what I want. And I feel more comfortable being experimental with something that I find in a thrift store because I'm keeping it circular. If I get something, say I've gotten this dress, which I got off of Vinted, but it's still thrifted or secondhand. Say I'd gotten this and it didn't work out. I tried it from someone else, like it was already in circulation, and if it doesn't work for me, I will put it back into circulation. I really like that. It gives me the confidence to try something new should I want to, but knowing that I'm keeping it in the loop. Hopefully I bring it in and it stays in my wardrobe for several years, many years, and then when it no longer fits me or no longer serves me, it goes back in the loop. But even if it doesn't, even if it just comes in, I try it, it doesn't work, and I pass it on again, the loop is looping. And I like that the loop is looping. Now I could spend so much more time talking about this, but I'm gonna wrap it up here because it's already quite long. But I am about to, I keep talking about it, but eventually, soon, hopefully, I will be making a video essay on a topic that is somewhat related to this, and I'm so much looking forward to it. I will just name the topic right now because then maybe it gives me more of a kick in the butt to sit down and script this thing, because I have been working on it but also putting it off for quite a while. I will be making a video essay on the topic of, is anything bought new ever going to become vintage? I'm just gonna leave that here and wrap this up for now, and I would love to hear in the comments down below what your thoughts are on personal style, on thrifting. I imagine if you are here that you do enjoy thrifting because that is a lot of the content that I make, but perhaps you just stumble upon this video and you decided to stick around for however many minutes I have been talking now. Hello in that case, and welcome. Thank you so much for watching this video, regardless if you clicked on this video as your first one or if you've been here for years. I'll be back with another video soon, so I hope to see you then. Bye!